What's going on YouTube? Back with another video, back with another build. Today I got a lockdown if it was made in 2K19, back when it was kind of like pie charts, everything was kind of like stuck. Not well, 2K19 did, no, 2K19 was double archetypes, but back in the day where you really couldn't really pick your stats that much and everything was so limited, kind of trying to show why more of a builder where we had more control is better. Just to go over, like, people think that this game isn't good because of the builder and we should go back to pie charts and stuff like that, but this is a build to what it would look like. In no way, shape, or form is this a bad build, but this build just wouldn't fit this game, but to peak. But it's still a solid build, and I'm gonna show you why you can make a better build for 2K25 as well. But this is pretty much a pure lockdown, kind of two-way, I guess you can say. So if you made like a primary lock back when it was double archetypes, primary lock, secondary shooting, this is what that build will look like. So still a solid build, still make this build, but you know what I'm saying, there's a better way to make the build, and I'm gonna show you guys that after. But to finish off the intro, I just want to spread the word real quick from Jeremiah 17:5. This is what the Lord says: cursed is the one who trusts in man, who draws strength from mere flesh, and whose heart turns away from the Lord. That was Jeremiah 17:5. And basically, you know, sometimes we may accomplish things, or we may try to do things in our own strength, and we may always look at ourselves when we do something good, or when something good happens and we accomplish something, or we achieve something, and we feel like we're the ones who did it. But at the end of the day, it's God who deserves all the glory, who gives us the strength to do these things. And sometimes we may be faced with tough battles and faced with things that we feel like is really great, and how are we going to be able to get over this wall that's too high? But at the end of the day, we're trusting in ourselves, and we're just not going to be able to get over that wall. So if you trust in the Lord and turn your heart towards him, then everything will be well. You know, it says cursed is the one who trusts in man, who draws strength from mere flesh. So obviously you don't want to be cursed. So give glory to God, because that's where the glory is due. And don't look at yourself, don't turn to yourself to try to get over everything. You know that there's a God who can help you get through things. So getting into the build, I just want to show you guys what a lock would look like. Pure lock with a little bit of shooting. So we're gonna go 6'7". We're gonna max out our wingspan. So if you wish to go all in on lockdown, so basically 99 interior, you can go 94. Let me reset that because I already messed up. You can go 94 perim, 94 interior. And since there are cap breakers, like cap breakers is one of the best things that happened to this game. You can make a way better build just strictly off of cap breakers, not wasting all your attributes, making it 99. And then pretty much block we'll leave at an 86, because that would be pogo stick. And I believe gold 87 doesn't give you nothing, so you can just leave that there. Then as a lock, you still want to max out your physicals too. So we'll go 88 speed. We're not going to max it out just because we had to sacrifice something, but we'll see if we can get it back up. And then agility too, so this is just going to help you stay in front of people. Strength, we're going to go 85. We're not going to max it out, because when you max it out, you see at the bottom it's 89. You don't get nothing at 89, so leave it at 85 because that's immovable. Vert, we're going to leave our vert at an 80. That's going to give us the ability to grab some boards. We're not really a rebounder like that, but we can grab some boards with an 80. It's only on silver. I wouldn't use this build as like a threes big, I guess you should say, like running the three. So unless your two can rebound, or unless you have another rebounder, don't rely on this build to rebound, because it's not going to be the best rebounder. It's really just to stay in front of whoever, whether you got to guard a big or you got to guard a guard. You can stay in front of either or. You have a 99 steal, 99 perimeter, and 99 interior once you put your 15 cat breakers on, if you're a vet 2. So once you hit vet 2, you got 10 cat breakers from your rep, and then 5 from the seasons. Where we're at right now, it's probably going to be 6 or 7 once the game ends off. And then you can smack that on steal. So you're going to have pretty much all these, well, all your perimeter badges are going to be on legend, and all your steel badges are going to be on legend. So that's really solid. And then after that, we're going to make our midi We're gonna bring that to an 87 and max that out. And that's gonna help us shoot. You get a good jump shot base at an 87. You get these badges on silver. 3-pointer, we're gonna put it bare minimum at a 70. So we're gonna be able to shoot. And that's really all we need to be able to do, to be honest. And then after that, pass act is where we get a little iffy. So now, do you want the pass act or do you want drive and dunk? Now, your drive and dunk is good enough to get some dunks. So I'm gonna show you 2 alternate ways you can do this. You can bring your standing up to a 45, leave that there, and then move your pass act up to a 43. Or you can bring that down to a 40, bring your driving up, bring your standing down to a 40, bring your pass act down to a 40, and bring your driving dunk up to a 55. Either or works. This one you get these, like you get 1 or 2 standing dunk packages. You don't get the good, I think you only get 1. I think you only get the 2-hander or something like that, if I'm correct. So this will be a version that you can do. So now, back in the day when you made builds, just to show you guys what it came out with, back in the day when you made builds, it was like pie charts. You get Gerald Wallace, Jay McDaniels, and Herb Jones. It comes out, a little chunky, comes out to a switchable lock, so that's pretty obvious. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Back in the day when you made builds in like 19, you had the double archetypes, so you can only choose, oh, I want to be a shooter and then a playmaker. So your shooting will be higher up and your playmaking will be higher up, but you couldn't really play defense that well attribute wise. You had low attributes defensively and finishing. Couldn't really do that. So it's like that kind of takes out the purpose of playing basketball with a created player. I get you're trying to limit things, but I don't think that really made much sense, limiting so much to where you couldn't really, you could only do 1 or 2 things, and the other stuff, like this build right now, it looks like this is exactly what it is. You can only do 2 things, and that's defense and shoot. You can't really put the ball on the ground whatsoever. I mean, you kind of can if you know how to dribble with a low ball handle, but you can't pass. Like, you have to sacrifice so much, and back in the day you had to sacrifice a lot, and especially if that was with this gameplay, like, it just would not be beneficial to the game whatsoever. But like with this builder, you can at least make it good in some areas and then decent, and then like you're not like filth unless you're making, like, at certain heights you are. Like the 6'7", you really can't make a 6'7" that's all around. 6'4" is the best height. You can make an all around 6'4" build that excels at pretty much everything, so you're gonna lack in like a few things. Like you can really make a really good like all around 6'4", and that's kind of what we should be making. So like this build will be a solid build if the gameplay was made for people who could score down low and people who could score on the perimeter. This would be a solid build. But yeah, and then when you had pie chart, same thing. It was just select, like you only could select a few things and then it would just cap off, and then same thing, you was just sacrificing so much. It didn't really feel like you could do things on the court. Like it's a toss-up. Like, these are NBA players at the end of the day, and we should be able to create players who can do things. If they're gonna go back to pie charts and all that stuff, my suggestion would be to make the weight, like the minimum, like a 40 pass act. Like, I should still be able to pass the ball up the court. I should still be able to throw the ball without somebody catching and fumbling and doing all that. If I make somebody with a low dunk, like a 55 driving, like I should still be able to dunk the ball. Like, not everybody has to be jumping out the gym and catching posters, but I should still be able to go up and dunk the ball. A 43 layup. These are NBA players. I still should be able to make a layup. Like, if that's what they're gonna go with, then these minimums have to still be able to do the bare minimum. If you make a 99 layup, you should be able to do some crazy Kyrie layups, contested layups, and bump layups, all these Euro steps, all this and that. But if I have a low layup, I should still be able to make a layup. Like, if you have a 43 layup right now, you're gonna miss layups, and I feel like that's where there's gonna be no balance if they go back to pie charts or double archetypes, and then there's these low minimums to where you can't do certain things on the court. So that would have to be the fix, in my personal opinion. But back to 2K25, if you were to make this build for 2K25, like a pure lockdown, I would say drop your interior. You don't really need this at a 99 because you really don't get nothing, because your strength's too low. Like, too many things going together, so you really don't need this. I would drop this down to an 88. That gives you post lockdown gold. You don't lose nothing at the 88, and then you can bring your pass sack up at least to a 55 from there, and then you can put this wherever your preference is. So something like 4.0 board and a little bit of free throw. So that would be a better build, especially for I don't know what I just said, head takeovers, especially for 2K25. So you can play defense, you put +5 here, put +5 here, and honestly, since you're dragging that down, you're not going to put your +5 here. I would bring your close shot down 5. What was it, 87? Because that's also going to tie into your midi, so that weighs the most. So now you can even play around with this a little bit more, and you can even put your board up a little bit. You can't get that 92. You only max out at a 91, but this just helps you get more boards. So this will be a way better build as a pure lock for 2K25 that can still shoot. So put your next 5 cap breakers here at the 82, so that will bring it up to an 87. You can still get some good bases. You get T-Mac base, so it'll be good there. And then it just turns into Gerald Wallace, Jay McDaniels, and instead of Herbert Jones, you get Alex Caruso. And I think it should still be switchable lock. Yep, so that's a better 2K25 build. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to chat just to go through the discrepancies with each different builder system. I think we have a good builder. I just think the attributes have to matter. The attributes have to weigh what they're supposed to weigh, and the minimums have to still allow you to do the minimum on the court. Like minimum pass act, I still need to be able to pass the ball. Like I shouldn't throw the ball all the way over somebody's head. Like I get it's a video game, but it also has to have some realism to it, and that's unrealistic. Like we don't, like NBA players, I get not everybody's Steve Nash and throwing dimes up and down the court, throwing full court lobs and all that, but you can still, NBA players can still pass the ball. Same thing with layups. Not everybody's Kyrie and Donovan Mitchell and John Morant doing all these acrobatic layups, John Wall and all that, but all NBA players can make a layup. Yeah, they miss here and there, but that's where the video game aspect has to come in. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. Low-key just chatting. But yeah, this will be the better build you can make as a pure lock for 2K25. If you guys want to see any more builds, drop them down in the comments and I'll cook something up. But I'll catch y'all in the next one.